Hey everybody, I'm John Everts from California Leasing. Welcome to Agents in Community. This is like my favorite show where we get to spotlight real estate agents who are making their community a better place, their little corner of the universe a better place by giving back. And that's what we're going to do today. I have my good friend Martin here, and he's going to introduce our guest today.
Yeah, so Liz, we're thrilled
Hi.
to have you. Liz Tolentino, as you know, I think we all three have known each other for
a long
a
time.
I
very
acted like
long
I didn't
time.
know you, but I did.
yeah.
Yes, we know each other.
All right.
But to tell you a little bit about Liz, you know, like I said, I've known Liz for the better part of 20 years. I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly where the number starts or ends, but that's not important. The thing that's important is she's a phenomenal realtor. She knows a lot of people in our community, has been making a difference in our community, not only through the buying and selling of real estate and homes and helping people connect on that, but giving back to the community in many, many ways. And we're going to talk in a minute here about a nonprofit organization that she's very involved with, but she's also involved with her kids' school and giving back at Legacy. And
Yeah.
that's the name of your
Yeah.
child's school and
Yes,
everything, right?
Legacy.
At Legacy. So I know you're connected with a lot of things, but today we're going to talk about your organization. I'll let you introduce it. It is called the
It is the Michael Hoffman Foundation.
Michael Hoffman Foundation.
Yes, it has been about a year since I joined the Michael Hoffman Foundation. I'm on the board of the foundation.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's
And
an
how long have you been on the
honor.
board?
For about a year.
Just a year?
Just
Okay.
about a year. It's just an honor to be part of such a great organization that has its roots in Santa Clarita. I mean, the Hoffman family has lived in Santa Clarita, has been contributing toward, you know, the goodness of Santa Clarita, and I think really it has given so much to families and children who have gone
An
through
unbelievable amount
Yes.
of
They've contributed a lot.
They've
crazy
contributed
need.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So start with the family for a second. So
Yeah.
why did they found this organization and what's it about?
So the organization, we battle childhood cancer and
Okay.
all of the things that happen once there's a cancer diagnosis on a child in a family, right? And this organization started in 1995. And it was founded by the Hoffman family. One of their children, Michael Hoffman, whom the organization is named after,
Yeah.
was diagnosed with childhood cancer, and unfortunately, a year after the organization was founded, Michael Hoffman did pass away. And ever since then, the Hoffman family has made it their mission to help families going through their same experience, and also to bring awareness of childhood cancer
Wow.
in the Santa Clarita Valley and beyond.
Because it's not something you want to think about.
No,
Right.
and not at all. It's not something.
And it
you wanna
honors his
think-
legacy. I mean,
Yeah.
his
Totally.
legacy.
It's
So
unbelievable.
that's a beautiful way to honor
Yes.
somebody who's been
Yeah.
through this. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It honors his legacy, and it creates a bond with the families that have gone through that. And
I bet you
it's
that
very
was a
unfortunate.
very tight bond.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's families that are still fighting through it, that have been in remission, and then there's families that unfortunately have lost, their loved one, and that's really tough.
And that's got to be hard.
Yeah.
Anytime you lose a child for whatever
for
reason,
any
it's
reason, yes.
probably a parent's number one nightmare, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
We're all parents here, and
Yes.
I couldn't fathom that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so to have an organization who's taking a very difficult diagnosis and helping families
Yeah.
navigate that.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me
So,
more.
so tell us what the foundation does
Yeah.
when a family has a diagnosis of cancer.
Yeah.
That's a really great question. So once there's a cancer diagnosis in a family, the family who knows about the Michael Hoffman Foundation, that's maybe something that we can talk about, is making families aware that this is a resource
service.
for them. It's
Yeah.
it's a service for them. So if for whatever reason a family finds out that their child has cancer, we say get in contact with us right away. We get them a care package because we know the likelihood of treatment starting right away is very high. We get them a package with snacks and toiletries and books and coloring books and things that the family might need during that time. We also start to keep in contact with them and asking them, do you need a grocery card? Do you need gas cards? Do you need even a gift card? Because there's
Tell us about the parking.
yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the gas cards, yeah.
So a lot of our families, although Michael Hoffman does have connections with a lot of different hospitals, including Cedars-Sinai and UCLA and Kaiser, a lot of our children get to go to Children's Hospital down in LA. And so we have families commuting from Antelope Valley, Santa Clarita Valley, down to Children's Hospital. And when a family is down there, the parking is like you get to go in one time and you get to go out. And then if you have to come back in, you have to pay again, which, it is what it is. Our families need help with that. And
right?
it's 20
like 20
bucks.
bucks.
It's expensive.
It's like
It adds
20
up.
bucks. It adds up.
And they're down there sometimes multiple
Yes.
times a week. And
Exactly, multiple times a week.
Yeah.
And, sometimes if like mom and dad need to run out and get lunch or, do something, they don't have the ability to do that once it starts to add up,
Yeah.
You have to be, very budget conscious when you're going through something like this. And, we help our families with even the little things like that. Yeah.
But on a bigger basis, I know one of the things we talked about earlier is the commitment that it takes from the parents to help their children
Yeah.
get through whatever the medical therapy is, whether it's chemotherapy, radiation, or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you're down at, say, at Children's Hospital for a 3 or 4 hour stint and you're
Yeah.
doing that multiple days a week, it might compromise somebody's ability to go to work. So
Exactly.
their
Yes.
income,
Right.
you were tell me more
Yeah.
about that.
I mean, there are times where the parent that becomes the caretaker, can no longer sustain the income that they were bringing in at the same level that they did before. I mean, and we know this from just illness in general, that
Yeah.
it impacts income and your ability to earn, especially if you have to be down there, in LA getting treatment or facilitating treatment for your loved one, for your child.
And how does Michael Hoffland's services then help navigate some of those specific issues? Are they
Yeah.
helping with donations financially,
Yes.
or
So we help. We certainly help with the gas cards and the grocery cards to
Okay.
kind of takes a little bit of that burden off a family. We also have mental health services for our children who are going through this. So because we know it's important
Oh, wow.
to be able to talk to somebody about what's happening.
Man, this is a
Yeah.
multi-layered
Yeah, absolutely.
needs.
Yeah, to give some brightness to this whole conversation, because I know this is really tough
It
Yeah,
is.
that
It is
to
a tough-
even think about, right?
Yeah.
For our children that have been part of the organization. And the thing is, once you're part of our organization, you are part of it for the rest of
Your life.
for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's not just when you're an adolescent or a kid.
Yes,
you're,
exactly. Yeah,
that's-
we have our alumni, or
Right.
That thankfully
can celebrate
went
them.
into remission, and or are cancer free. They get to apply for scholarships.
Oh, wow.
So we do a Michael Hoffland scholarship, and recently we received applications, and we got to read what Michael Hoffland meant for them, what going through childhood cancer meant for a 16, 17, 18-year-old at that time that got to survive and is now off to college. So we also do see a lot of brightness, and we get to actually experience through testimony of survivors what
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like
the
to
success
have
stories and
the
stuff.
Michael Hoffland
Yeah.
Foundation be part of their lives, and be assisting
And that's
their
where you
family.
see you guys contributing back. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's a phenomenal thing to do. I mean, you have to celebrate those successes, because you're right.
Yeah.
You're in a dark place.
Yeah, you
pretty
can
much
be in a
the
dark
whole
place,
time with
exactly,
all
yeah.
that. But yeah.
Absolutely.
So, with all the contributions and all the things you guys are doing, I'm sure you probably get a lot of requests from families that have these diagnoses. I mean, LA County
Yeah.
is a huge county in the state.
Yeah.
Are you geographically limited? Is it only for Santa Clarita, or do you guys go beyond the borders of Santa Clarita Valley?
That's a great question. So I've personally delivered Christmas baskets to families in the Antelope Valley. We do Santa Clarita. We've delivered, some of our other board members or volunteers have delivered baskets to Simi Valley and parts of Ventura County. So I would say almost, it's so silly, almost in all the areas I sell real estate, I believe that Michael Hoffland can be of service.
But they're focused predominantly here.
Yes.
You just don't want to turn anybody away if the need comes in.
I mean, of course.
But
if
you
the
only
need
have a
is
limited
there.
bandwidth, I'm sure, on what you guys can do.
Like any nonprofit, we're very dependent on our board. Our two amazing ladies that are at our office. Letty and Beth, they're incredible. They do a lot of they do everything. And
Is
then,
that your
you know,
executive director?
Our
who are they?
yeah, our administrative staff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Chris and Sue Hofflin are, you know, the founders, and
And they're still involved in the
executive- yes,
managing of the organization.
absolutely.
Okay, that's
They're still
awesome to hear. I
involved.
wasn't sure.
And, you know, volunteers. And, you know, so it's all hands on deck, especially if a family is in need. We will do everything we can to help.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect segue into how can somebody get involved and help? What do you need? For sure, we know money is a need. So
Yeah.
if you have money and you want to put it somewhere good,
Yeah.
get a hold of Liz. But,
Absolutely.
But how
Yes.
else can someone help?
You know, there is power in community, and there is power in the donations, right? If you go to mhf.org, you can always donate, and you can also get updates on our events. Our events are you know, the livelihood of our organization, because it does, you know, events are multifaceted. They impact the community because it's a community events where the community can come together and have that, you know, have that synergy.
feel.
Yes,
Mhm.
that feel, that synergy.
Be connected to it.
You
Yeah.
get to meet some of our families. You know, like for example, we do our Michael Hoffman Walk. We just did it at Central Park this year. We have it slated for April 2025.
Okay.
And then we have
Now, is this on like a calendar
Yes.
on the website?
mhf.org. Our calendar's there and our events are there.
Awesome.
Another thing that I think is really important is we kind of touched on this a little while ago when we were kind of chatting off camera, is after 2020, after COVID, a lot of people, you know, don't know that a lot of nonprofits are still operating, and they're still doing their best to help the community.
Yeah, it's not like those needs stopped.
Yes,
in
Right.
exactly.
2020.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, the revival of the name of the Michael Hoffman Foundation, the awareness that, you know, childhood cancer unfortunately affects, you know, more families than we think it does.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would say getting involved in our events, if it's possible to donate, great. And we also need volunteers are some of our events. So we would love great, you know, enthusiastic volunteers that are wanting to
People to serve, yeah.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
serve their
awesome.
time with a great organization.
How many? Just curious, how many families do you think the organization is serving? I don't know if you know that number offhand.
So
but
I want to say,
ballpark.
I mean, we have a list of families, and I would say like it's in the hundreds for sure.
Wow.
Where you know, they're communicating consistently with the organization and are, you know,
You're talking
voicing
about
needs.
active?
Yes, active
So a
families.
couple hundred families
Yes.
are actively receiving
Yes.
services. I can know with a need that big, yes, you need the whole community behind you. There's no way
Absolutely.
that a small nonprofit can
Yeah.
serve all that. You
Yes.
need the fundraising. You need
Yes.
you need that support, and that's exactly.
And then what do
we
you do? What, you know, can someone just call you if they know of a family who's got a kid who's diagnosed with cancer, you know, their own kid was diagnosed
Yeah,
with cancer?
absolutely. I'd love to have that conversation and
Okay.
direct
Get them
them to
connected.
the organization.
Because
to
I know
Michael Hoffman.
sometimes like
Yes.
trying to pick up the phone and call a nonprofit for help probably isn't the
know.
most comfortable feeling in the
No.
world. But
Yeah.
you're pretty easy to talk to, so
Thanks. Yeah.
call Liz.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
important.
Our most immediate need right now is we have our Christmas events coming up. And so we would love toy donations. So brand new unwrapped toys would be great. So if somebody wants to donate a toy, get in contact with me. I will pick it up. You can drop it off at my office anytime.
Awesome.
And then we also are looking for grocery card donations because we put together holiday baskets for our families. And so if we could include a grocery card donation there for, you know, for them, we'd love that. We'd love
So
grocery
like,
cards.
so
from
would somebody
anywhere.
go buy a bunch of $20 cards, or do you
Yeah.
want like $100 cards? Is something
$25
best?
cards we find are best,
That's
like
the
to
best.
kind of
Okay.
like combine with whatever they might
Right,
have.
you can pair it up with a
you can
Target
pair it
card
up.
or something
Exactly,
else
yes.
and-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So $25 gift cards, $30 gift cards, you know, even gas cards. We don't realize, you know, gas,
Yeah.
the price of everything has gone up. So
Yeah.
obviously any help is much appreciated, and the awareness that the Michael Hoffman Foundation is here.
Still in existence.
We're still in existence, and we have events that we'd love the community to be involved in.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Man, and unfortunately, this isn't a need that's going to be filled. Like
Yeah,
this
no.
there are more people who have these needs than there are resources to meet it, which is why the community needs to get involved.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It's why I love to be part of the organization, why it's an honor. Yeah.
No, well, thank
now,
you.
Now you see why we do this show.
Pretty much.
Because not everybody's created equal, and some real estate agents are out there not just helping people buy and sell homes, but helping make their corner of the universe a little bit better place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's so
That's
great.
Liz.
for
I
you
mean,
coming
like I
on.
said,
Yeah,
we've known
no.
her for a long time, and
Yeah.
you think you know somebody, then you have this conversation, and,
Yep.
and I love seeing what you're doing. And
Thank you.
Because
thank you for
people
sharing
like
that.
Liz aren't going to
Thank you.
go around holding the sign, I'm on the board at Michael Hoffman. Right? So we
So we'll tell her
Uh,
for her.
yeah.
But it's a great
to
organization.
that
so.
stuff too.
Yeah,
So,
awesome.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Liz.
for
I
coming
appreciate
on.
having
Thank you, guys.
you.
Thank
So-
you.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on Agents in Community.